Good morning, Primary 6 and Primary 7. It's Miss Faulkner again, which means it's Tuesday and it is writing day. And we're going to continue looking at different types of recount writing by looking at newspaper reports this week. So we're very excited to see lots of budding amateur reporters out there today. As always, it's really important to remember the purpose behind our writing, and we remember that by looking at our pie. With recount writing, we are looking at the I part of the pie. So we are looking to teach or give information to the reader about the events that we're going to be writing about in our newspaper articles today. So just to recap the learning that we had last week with recount writing, we explored a diary piece of writing last week. So we had a very definite structure and we had some very specific language features as well. This week we will be looking at a newspaper article, and as you can see we have a couple more examples of recount writing to explore with you later on in the term. As your teachers, one of the things that we are most proud of you guys for continuing to engage with at home is your own reading for pleasure tasks. It's been absolutely lovely when you have been sharing your reading logs and your reading experiences with us every week. And it's been really, really interesting to see the different types of books that people have been reading at home, which has been really, really encouraging and really positive, Primary 7 and Primary 6. We would like to focus in on that success, and today we would like you to write a newspaper report based on one of those books or one of your favourite books that you have been reading at home. So once you have chosen the book that you would like to read about, then you need to consider what was an exciting event that happened in that book, because that is the event that you are going to plan and write your newspaper article about. So for example, if you are a giant Harry Potter fan, you might want to pick the Deathly Hallows, and you might perhaps want to talk about the Battle of Hogwarts. That would be a really exciting and interesting newspaper article. But that's just one example. I am sure you have lots more in Primary 6 and Primary 7. So have a chat with the person beside you if you're in the hub. If you're at home, have a chat perhaps on our Teams page and have a think about what types of books you could be writing about and what sort of events from the books that would make a really exciting and interesting newspaper article. So as you know, every writing genre has elements within it which are specific to that particular genre. It might be a specific type of layout or grammar feature. And to help us with our newspaper reports this week, I thought the poster was really useful because it gives us a quick reminder of what elements we can expect to see in your newspaper reports. So this is the bit where we need to get out our waggle examples that have been assigned to you. That's our what a good one looks like. And you also might want to look at your success criteria as well, because funnily enough, they are very similar. The elements that we're looking for you to display in your report writing is also going to be on your success criteria. You also might want to get out some coloured pens or some coloured pencils so that you can have a look through the waggle example that's been sent and look out for the features that we're about to go through on the next couple of slides, because they are very specific for newspaper reports. Remember, you can pause, play, rewind this video as many times as you like to help you be successful with this task. So fingers crossed you've all managed to find your waggle example and your success criteria and those colouring pens and pencils to help you find out and highlight where they are in your waggle text. Are you ready? Let's get started, shall we? So the very first thing that we are looking for in a newspaper article is obviously a headline. Now these are short, sharp, normally quite funny, quite often have alliteration in them, and they are used to grab the reader's attention. They are normally in big, bold capital letters at the top of the page. And just in case we forgot what alliteration is, we've popped up a poster here to help us. I'm going to get a totally wrong with this tongue twister just now, Primary 7. So for example, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. I did it! Yay! So that is where we use the same beginning sound in a line or a verse. So you'll notice in that one that all of the words start with the letter P. So That is an example of alliteration. You can see some examples in our headlines there as well. Watery weather washes out Wales. Or driverless car ploughs through a busy junction. So we're trying to grab the reader's attention with our headline. One of the next things that we are looking for in your newspaper reports is that we are looking for newspapers written with facts, not opinions. In case you need a little bit of a reminder what exactly we mean by facts and opinions, we've popped this poster over here to help you. A fact is something that can be proven to be true, and an opinion is what someone thinks or feels. And if you need a little bit of practice with that, we've got some sentences here on this poster which you can decide whether they are facts or whether they are opinions. So have a look just now in your waggle example and see if you can colour in the facts in the colour of your choice. So those are the things that can be proven to be true. So something that we should all be very familiar with now over our writing over the last couple of weeks is the example of using the who, what, where, when, why and how approach to planning and writing our reports. And again, we used it last week in our diary writing. Guess what? We can transfer that knowledge and use it to our benefit in our newspaper report writing. So we are looking for you to look at the waggle example and look for who the newspaper report is about, what happened in the newspaper report, where it happened, when it happened, why it happened, and how something has happened. So have a look at your examples in front of you. Remember, you can pause, play, rewind as many times as you like to help you be successful with looking at your waggle examples. Another very specific element to the genre feature of newspaper reports is this idea of writing in the third person. So last week in your diary writing, you wrote in the first person. So you were telling the story from your point of view and you used words like I and we. This week, we are writing in the third person. So the story is being told from the author's point of view and we use words to indicate this like she, he and they. So have a look in the waggle examples that you have got in front of you and check to see if you can see those sentences that are being written in the third person, and the clue is to look for the he, she and they words in the sentences. Another skill that you are applying from your diary writing last week is the idea of writing in the past tense. So the events have happened in the past before now when we are actually writing about them. Now we all had some really good examples of that last week, and just in case you need a little reminder, we've popped some posters on this slide to help you out with that. Have a look in your waggle examples for particularly verbs that are past tense verbs. And this poster over here gives you a little bit of a clue about what you would find at the end of past tense verbs. What two letters can we find at the end of past tense verbs? Another skill that you are applying over from the diary writing last week and from your other writing previously this term is the idea of writing in paragraphs. And just in case you need a little reminder of what they look like, we've got some poster examples here to help. Also, very specific to newspaper articles is the idea of writing in columns. That's where your page is split into 2 or 3 different columns, as you can see over in this example here. We have provided a template for you if you're able to print that off to write on that, that's absolutely fine. You can equally do it at home. If you take the piece of paper you're writing on and fold it in half long ways, that also works too. So have a look at the examples that you've got sent to you, your waggle examples, and see if you can see an example of a paragraph and also an example of the newspaper being written in columns. Another skill that you are applying from your diary writing and from your previous imaginative writing is the idea of using speech in your report this week. Now, specifically in a newspaper report, when we introduce a speech, it's normally called a quote or a quotation. And this is the only time in a newspaper report that we can include someone's opinion. And a quote tells us what has been said and who said it. They can help to tell the story by giving the reader the opinion of the people who were involved in the event you're writing about in your story. So there are some examples on the poster, but please be very careful. These are the only times you are able to include the opinion in your newspaper report. Have a look at the Waggle examples that you've got sent to you to see if you can find examples of quotes and decide whether they are fact quotes or opinion quotes. Another element which is very specific to newspaper reports is the introduction of a photograph and a caption. And a photograph is kind of self-explanatory. You pop in a photo of something that happened, or perhaps the aftermath of what has happened in your newspaper report. And the caption is the little sentence that goes underneath the photo and explains what is happening in the photo. Now, I'm happy for you to draw a picture. If you are not able to insert a photograph, that is absolutely fine. But have a look in your Waggle examples and have a think about if you can find the photograph or the picture and the caption as well underneath it. So depending on the challenge level that has been assigned to you, your success criteria might feature all of those elements or just some of those elements. But in a nutshell, what your teachers are looking for in your newspaper report is the who, what, where, when, why, and how thoughts being used to plan out and write your report. We are looking for the report to be written in the third person and to be written in the past tense throughout the report. And we're also looking for those very newspaper genre specific features, the headline, the byline, the columns, the quotes, and the captions. So now Primary 6 and Primary 7, we have chosen which book we are going to write about. We have chosen the event that we are going to write about from that book, and one of the examples I gave was perhaps the Battle of Hogwarts from Deathly Hallows, but you can obviously choose an event of your own choosing. A really good choice to do if you're stuck for ideas is to try using some nursery rhymes or poems that you might already know. You might think that I've gone absolutely crazy suggesting that Primary 6s and Primary 7 write about nursery rhymes, but they actually lend themselves really well to being transported into a newspaper article. And once you have got all those points in place, we would like you to open up your planning sheet. Now, we are looking for you to spend between 15 and 30 minutes on this plan, and we are looking for you to write just bullet points on this plan. Don't write huge, great big sentences. They're just bullet points to help you when you come to write your extended news report. So we're looking for your headline, we're looking for your who, what, where, when, whys, and we're looking for your bullet points for paragraph 1, 2, 3, and your closing statement of how things stand with your event at the moment. Remember, pause, replay, rewind the video as many times as you like to help you be successful with this task. So now your plan is done, take a quick brain break or grab a cup of tea and then go for it with your extended writing piece. So your extended writing piece is your newspaper article. Okay, and remember we would be looking for you to be writing for between 45 minutes and 1 hour. Remember as well, we have assigned everyone a VCOP word mat to help you up level your writing. Your teachers are also online. If you get stuck or you want some help, we're here and we can answer any questions or queries you might have. When you think you have done your piece of writing, we would then like you to check it against the success criteria that has been set for you. And if possible, you need also to get somebody at home to have a check. They can either tick the friend box or my teacher thinks box, because it's always good to get a second opinion on your writing, just in case you've missed out something. Also, it's a good opportunity to proofread your writing. Go back over it and check that it makes sense. Look out for punctuation that's been missing or some spelling that's been missing. And capital letters and full stops are still being stolen, Primary 7. So please help us find those missing capital letters and full stops. That would be really, really super. We are so excited to read your newspaper articles and continue to help you being successful writers that you are all proving to be, Primary 6 and Primary 7. So all that remains is to wish you very good luck with your newspaper report task, and we can't wait to read them when you submit them to us. So take care, and remember your teachers are online if you've got any questions, and good luck, Primary 6 and Primary 7. Bye bye for now.